AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
They've got his man complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 12 carries, a trip to the end zone to go along with 118 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff, because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Now Foles. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. D. Ford. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football, and then have a better chance to win again this week.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pick.
The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
And this one complete to Will Fuller. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Will Fuller, 85 yards. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go.
Short-term memory.
And move on to the next series.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Here's Foles. And that's incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus. Yeah,
that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 24 carries, 101 yards, and a score.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on them.
Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Fuller. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield who can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Again, this is Kamara. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, Kamara. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 3rd down, Rivers. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Anthony Hitchens leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Foles. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on them, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half. Now,
meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Robert Quinn in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the rookie corner, Jair Alexander.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered.
When with no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. D. Ford in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Rivers. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 35.
Timeout offense.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Rivers now to throw on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Amendola, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
A second down throw for Rivers. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
To throw on third down, Rivers drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down. Rivers now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Final play of the half, Rivers. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Rivers now on second down. Harris has it over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Lions had the fewest third down conversions on the ground in the NFL in 2017. What will they do here on 3rd and short? Rivers to throw it. Open man right side is Ingram. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll throw again. Rivers. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. First target, first catch, and a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Fuller. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with it.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Evan Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And it's now 21-0. This one taken from the 7th. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Flushed, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. D. Ford in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Give him 30 yards there. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL. Back now in Arlington. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Back to throw now on first down. Looking for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he connects with Ebron. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back to throw again. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Slow.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Marquise Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. Boy, what a job there. 4th down that far away from the end zone just to get it in, get that done.
An unlikely result, but it occurred nonetheless. But a terrific play. Great way to finish and in the end zone.
And the defense has to be scratching their heads, right?
That's usually to their advantage. In that situation, they should be able to make a play on the ball. But instead, it turned out to be a touchdown, and they've got to go figure it out on their sideline.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
2nd down, Rivers. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Geno Atkins. Able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire time.
And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though,
well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Smith. And an out. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Lions have recovered.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is going to be 3rd and 13. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Lions, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at EA Sports.